welcome in. And today we'll talk about really essential topic for your business. I guess this is really important topic not only for business owners but for every company that deal with personal data. And I would say that the first issue that you need to do is to define the laws that actually apply to your business before move forward with next issues. Yeah, so that's why we talk about this issue today, about this topic, and let's move forward and see what we have here. So I would ask you to look at this map. I'd really like it because it brings us some statistics, and by looking at this map, we can understand that that this topic nowadays is really hard, is really difficult to underestimate. Yeah, because as of nowadays, 71% of countries have their active legislation in privacy law. So it's really huge amount of countries today have active legislation, and it means that you need to be aware about it. Yeah. So actually, statistics speak for themselves. Taking into account the global nature of business and most businesses that do their business online, we understand that they spread its activity like globally. Yeah, and sometimes you don't need to apply not only one law but several, maybe even a lot of them. And today in this topic, I will try to clarify some issues for you, and I will define my top 5 questions, which always help me define the list of applicable laws to business which I work with. And I will for sure can say that they will help to define some laws, some aspects of this at your own. So let's move forward to the first one. So what this question said about? Let's take a look a bit closer to this. Actually, this question helps to define your official establishment, the place of your company's registration. In other words, it means where is a company officially registered, in what country, what jurisdictions. Because a lot of I would say that most laws today, they have privacy legislation in place which oblige companies to comply with their laws by default. So it means if your company is registered in this jurisdiction, you will need to comply with their law. Yeah. And another aspect which you need to consider as well is if your company, for example, at the stage of planning, it's like planning its company jurisdiction. This is one of the most important criteria which you'll need to take into consideration while choosing your company's jurisdiction. So it's better to check this privacy law of this company to ensure that it doesn't have any drawbacks, it doesn't have any complications for you, and you are good to go. So please be aware of it. Next question. So the difference between the first one and this one is that in first case, we spoke about like official place of registration, but sometimes companies have different place of doing their business. So in this case, we speak about actual business activities, about real place of business. And in some cases, a company may be registered in the United States, but it can do its business like in United Kingdom or in the European Union. And in this case, we speak about where is your company officially sells its products or provides its goods, provides its services. Yeah. And moreover, if we speak about company doing its business globally, worldwide, usually it will offer its products, especially we speak about online services and products, it will offer them to a lot of countries, maybe even worldwide. Yeah. And in this case, you will need to comply not only with the United States of registration, law of your registration, but also with another laws, and you will need to check them before moving forward. So please be aware of this as well. Let's move to the next one. The third question, it's actually closely connected to the advertising campaigns, or I would say that it closely related to them because it helps you define your geographical audience. Sometimes maybe if you do it on your own, you or your ad specialists, they while launching advertising campaigns online, they set different settings, and one of them will be like which audience, which geography you want to target. Yeah, you want your ad to be reached at, and at this criteria, you will also need to take into account, because a lot of law, such as for example, GDPR, one of the most important and one of the most known in the European Union, it has this criteria as one of defining, yeah, and you will need for sure to take into consideration this law and these requirements. That's why you will need to check, for example, your advertising settings, which will help define your target audience. Sometimes the tools which I usually use in my practice and which help me define this geographical audience, sometimes really analytics tools might be really helpful in this case. You might know about Google Analytics, about SmartLook. It doesn't matter which one do you use. The most important issue that they give you statistics reports, and in these reports you can find out the information about geographical audience, about like you might see the breakdown by countries which you actually target. So you can do it on your own, or you can ask maybe your web developer or your maybe your advertising specialist if you have a separate person who deal with these issues, and they will help you to define this and to see these reports. Let's move to the next one. User breakdown per year. This is also one of the most known and one of the really frequently used criteria, especially in the United States laws or legislation. If you speak about privacy law, yeah. And this criteria is related to quantitative metrics, yeah. So it actually shows you, and it relates to the number of users your company collects data from, yeah. So you will need to have the breakdown of your users per year. And this is really important issue as well, because as I've already mentioned, a lot of United States laws have one of their threshold criteria, these quantitative metrics. So to define your applicability, to check whether your company needs to comply with this one or another one in state law, you will need to check this criteria as well. For example, let's say California privacy law, the most famous in the United States. It has such criteria as one of defining, and you will need to check it before assessing your applicability with this law. So do not forget about it. So take into consideration it as well. And the same in the previous question, in the previous slide, I would say that having and checking analytics report can be really useful in this case, because you can set settings in your report, yeah, and to see like your user breakdowns per year. You will see numbers, and they will help you define this, so you will not need, for example, to use any other tools and try to define them on your own. You can also for sure ask your web developer to help with this issue, and they will let you know how to figure out it. And another really helpful advice that I would give you is, I would say that you will need to check your user breakdown with a certain frequency. This is really important. Let's say 2 or 1 time per year, depending on how fast your company is developing, how fast is your business growing, just to be sure that that you can in time and in a right manner to bring your privacy practice into compliance. Yeah. And the fifth question, the last but not the least, yeah, I would say, it's related to financial metrics of your company, of your business, how much money does it make. And in this case, we speak about your financial criteria, and we'll take into consideration your gross revenue in this case for the previous year. And as I've already mentioned today, I mentioned today the Californian privacy law is one of the most widely used, I would say, yeah. And this law, this California law, it's actually have this financial criteria as one of the other one. So based on your business annual revenue, you can define the applicability of the law to your business. Because if we speak about California privacy law, you can find their information that if your company gets 25 millions and more for the previous year, you will, by default, will need to comply with this law. But if no, do not forget to check other criteria, because this law and other United States law as well, they do not have only one criteria. They have also another one. So this one is just one from other. Okay, so basically this is all as of today. This is like my top 5 questions I usually use in my practice, and they always help me to define the list of all applicable laws for your business. And this is for sure will be the first step which I would advise you to move with. And based on this list of applicable laws, you will be able to build your strategy with like privacy practices to understand which steps do you need to take next, and which requirements you'll need to satisfy in your business operations. So use them, and I will wait for your comments if you have any. So you're welcome, and see you in the next videos.